Hey, little doggies.
Welcome to the Drunken Bear!
If you're planning to go to Bucharest, you must watch this video.
Today we're going to show you all the things you must do while you're here in Bucharest, Romania. Let's go!
I personally reckon anything in brown paper bags is delicious. Regardless of what it is, wine, snacks, koprigi.
And it actually came from that. People aren't really sure of the origin, but they think that it's came from the 19th century, from the Greeks who wanted to pair it with their wine, but nobody really knows because it looks so much like a pretzel. There might be some pretzel origins there as well too, so it's been a East meets the West kind of thing that's probably made it happen. But one thing for sure is that Romanians love it. It's a religion here. It's something that you see everywhere. You walk out of a subway station and there's a kovrigiri store right there selling these things, and everyone's got this is the scene you'll see in Romania, like that.
Once I had it, I loved it. There is no sweetness such as sugar. My favorite one is the sausage one, and it's like a longer koprigi and it's got sausage inside. Apparently it's kind of a new thing.
Have a look in there. Can you see that? It's like a very normal Frankfurt hot dog, and you can usually get it for about 1 to 2 lei, so it's so cheap as well. So they do say it's the food of the poor, and it makes sense. It's cheap, it's bread, and it's delicious. Love it! The Romanian Athenaeum is actually a concert hall. It opened in the 1800s, in the late 1800s, and it's also home to the Philharmonic Orchestra. It'd be so lovely to hear some amazing classical music in this building. One of the places we visited, which is arguably one of the most popular Instagram spots in the world, is of course the bookstore Cărturești Carousel. I hope I said it right. And it is an amazing place, an amazing building. As you come in, you see the stairways going up like this, just walls lined with books.
The minute we got into the shop, it was like an Instagram battle. I was one of them. I was kind of pretending I was going upstairs and Nick was taking pictures on the other side.
But not just books, there's also a lot of souvenirs there, so it's a good place to pick up some really unique, interesting souvenirs.
Also, you should check out the cafe upstairs. They have great coffee, heaps of cream, I love it. And also that is another great spot to see the bookstore again. You lose track of time when you're there.
When you think of a food that is quite simply stuffed cabbage, you might think, I don't know, it doesn't sound so good. It doesn't look so appetizing, but the thing is, sarmale is incredible. Hands down one of my favorite Romanian dishes. I'm not even sure what it is, what I'm tasting, but it is so delicious. It's got like a cabbage. It's very like sour. It's like a sauerkraut, but with a lot more flavor. It's really yummy.
And this dish is served often on Christmas and New Year, and I can totally imagine it'll be one of the beautiful dishes on Christmas on the big table. Regardless of the weather in Bucharest, once you enter this beautiful passage, you feel instantly warm. It's a lovely place. I love the curve inside the passage, and also the roof is just bright yellow.
It's also got a lovely history to it as well, why it was built there the way that it was. This passageway was built in the late 1800s, and what makes it interesting, they built it as a fork in the road because there was a hotel in the center, so they had to build around it, and it goes from the main bank to the main street. So all the cafes that run along it pretty much are like the hookah bars, so having their pipe smoke kind of thing, which I've only tried once, and it's quite interesting taste, but not really for me. But it's all those kind of relaxed, sit down. It's pretty cool.
I think someone kind of read my mind. I wanted to open a cafe after my travel. That's what exactly happened to this couple who traveled for 5 years and then opened a cafe called Tea House 5. This venue is not just a tea place, because you can stay there, so it's a kind of a hostel, and also they have lots of events, workshops. It's just simply a melting pot for creative people. They've got 50 types of tea, and I love the adorable host, little cat in there. Hello, hello.
blanket I brought for us, and now he thinks it's his bed. It's so lovely because there's like just little mats along the whole tent, and then you've got these cushions here, everything, these just laying around. It's a very kind of hippie vibe. Here we are at the Arc de Triomphe. It's a replica of the one that you can find in Paris, and it really makes you feel like you're in Paris, except for, of course, the Romanian flag flying up above. And it's really, really lovely. Even here in this weather, it's amazing.
It's actually much bigger than what you see in the video. As it was pouring, there was no one around us, so we were kind of lucky to take pictures in every angle.
It was built in the early 1900s to celebrate the victories of the Romanians during the First World War, and it is quite a magnificent structure, and it makes you feel like we're in Paris. The National Art Museum of Romania is a really cool place to go if you want to get more cultured and visit something that's a little bit different. It's got art all the way from medieval times to modern times, and just pretty much everything. So if you're really into art, or even if you're not, go check it out. I reckon it will surprise you. It's pretty darn cool.
Mici, whatever it is, you must try mici when you are in Romania. You can actually find the mici everywhere, not just Bucharest. I want to get them in Australia too.
How many bread?
Two.
Bread.
Actually not much of a snack really, it's more of a meal. There's a lot of little kind of sausages is all I could kind of describe it off. Straight off the grill, a lot of mustard, you dip it in, it is so delicious. It literally just came off the grill. Oh, it's got like a garlic kind of flavour to it as well. It's also very, I don't know if you can see there, but you can kind of really push into it, so you can tell, and that's because of how juicy it really is. And what makes it really interesting is that it's such a popular dish in Romania. So much so that 440 million mici is consumed every year by Romanians. It's an incredible amount, and if you go there and try it, I think you'll see why. King Mihail Park is a lovely park in Bucharest. It used to be called Herăstrău Park, but recently changed because the last king of Romania, King Mihail I, this park was named after when he passed away just a few years ago. It was called Herăstrău because there was a big lake, and that was the name of the lake. This parkland used to actually belong to communities in the Paleolithic era, so we're talking woolly mammoths found here and everything, so it's really, really old settlement. As we first went there was heaps of market stalls. Further along there was a massive festival happening, so there's definitely a lot you can do there. There's a very large lake. It is a place which has a lot of history too, prehistoric kind of history, so it's come a long way, and in the summer it's a lovely place to just hang out. So salam de biscuiti, or the salami biscuit. I didn't really quite know what to expect from this because it literally looks like salami, but when you put it in your mouth, it definitely does not taste like salami. I actually imagine it to be quite hard. It looked very like a hard cracker kind of style biscuit. It's not. It's not at all. Very soft. Yeah, is it made of chocolate, is it?
Yes.
Or,
Chocolate and biscuit inside.
when I first tried it, it kind of reminded me of rum balls. It had that kind of, I don't know, kind of a rum essence into it. So I'm not sure if it really does have that. You have to try it when you're in Romania. Sometimes you just want to relax after like a busy day, walking everywhere. So the perfect place to do that is in the Van Gogh Cafe.
I think it's a new trend that everyone loves Van Gogh's art. I mean, he's been always popular, but I feel like these days I see a lot of his art in everywhere.
What makes it really good, it's got a nice relaxing atmosphere. It's kind of a bit like the feeling of being in a small little museum in a Van Gogh exhibition, because there's Van Gogh paintings everywhere, Van Gogh art, and also little umbrellas with Van Gogh art on them as well too. So it's just a great vibe and a lovely place to just chill out, have a lovely beer or some coffee.
Finding the best coffee as people who are from Melbourne can be kind of tricky, but we somehow always manage to find them. And in Bucharest we found TED Coffee. They have high-end coffee as well as chai latte.
And I really like it. It's very creamy. It reminds me of a Melbourne cafe latte, which I love Melbourne coffee. And it's not so strong either. I'll open it so you can see. I've already destroyed the latte art which it had. It's always sad to destroy the latte art, but I did.
And We pretty much went there every day while we were staying in Bucharest. The cafe has a little bit of a young vibe. It's a bit like a Costa or Caffè Nero if you compare, but with better coffee.
The building itself was built in the 1800s, so when you first walk in you get the wow factor. It's not like your regular restaurant. It's got really a lot of room. They've got a bar as soon as you come in, so if you're waiting for a table you can just wait there, have a drink.
Pretty impressed with this place. It looks like you're dining in a massive church, an old church. It's just the attention to detail all around it is pretty impressive.
Head to your table and the food is absolutely delicious. They serve a lot of traditional Romanian food.
Some might say this is kind of like a tourist trap, you know, super expensive and the service isn't great. But I personally think you must visit this restaurant as just the experience.
So if it's your first time in Bucharest, it's a great first place to go try some delicious Romanian food. So we also like to go to some unique places that aren't the regular places that you go to, like a cafe, a restaurant, a famous mountain or anything like that. Quite literally just a subway station, and when you go there you see people going to and from work and everything looks normal, but if you look down on the ground you'll see that it's everything but normal. This place is like it's like a museum is all I could say is what it's like.
We're here at Politehnica station, and what makes this subway station so interesting here in Bucharest, built in 1983 because the then communist leader Nicolae Ceausescu, he wanted to build this station with locally sourced Romanian rocks, so they got it from the local mountains here in Romania, and 80 million years ago those mountains were down in the middle of the ocean and then rose up, came from these rocks here, put in the subway, and now they're here. It's really interesting, quirky story which they didn't mean to do, it just kind of happened. And back then Ceausescu was famous for when he had a plan, he wanted it done really quickly, so everyone just quickly made this whole thing without even realizing what they were doing here. And you have this amazing fossils. So the fossils are actually called rudists, and it was a type of marine life that existed so many million years ago. And it's an interesting thing because they were like so prominent during that time, and the history of the rudists lasted way longer than human history. So it's amazing to think such important marine life at that time just became completely extinct, because now we think of human history as being, we're always going to be here, but rudists were here ages ago and for a lot longer of a period than humans have been.
I really like these ones. These ones are my favourites here. So amazing. It's so funny to think people are just stepping over these fossils every day, and they've got such a history.
It's just roasted polenta with melted cheese. I had fried egg on there, a few other things. I'm not too sure exactly what they put in there, but oh my god, it was absolutely just amazing.
It's exciting. This is a very unique dish. I've never actually seen all these elements together in one.
It's an experience. So if you're coming to Romania, definitely try one. You will not regret it. Concentrate.
Okay. They're coming.
They are coming. Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Oh!
No, Lucy.
Who's that?
She comes all like,
Who's that one?
what are you doing?
Hey,
Okay.
nice guest.
It's okay. The Dimitri Gusti National Village Museum is a really cool place to go. It's a very different museum. It's completely out in the open, in the park.
This outdoor museum is so cool. You can see behind me like this hut as well from the 17th century. So it's just showing off different buildings, different structures from different periods, from different places. So it's really cool.
It is massive, so you can actually walk for quite a while and be seeing a lot of interesting things, different rooms, different furniture, and it's one of those things that you can do for many hours in the day. It's a lot of fun.
What animal is that? Is that a cat? It's like a feral cat roaming around. Good thing about this museum is that it's actually got the English translation, and it's got a lot of info too, so you can really get a lot out of this tour. So here we've got a 20th century swing for young people to play on.
You can take your whole family, take your friends, and have a real blast in the park. Centru Vecchi, or better known as Old Town in Bucharest, is one of those places that I'm sure you will go. Everyone, you have to go. You've got just everything is there.
This Old Town also seems really big. It's just the cobblestone streets. It just keeps going and going and going.
So not just the history of Old Town itself, but there's so many bars and clubs and cafes, restaurants, the cobblestone streets. It's a lovely place to have a wander all day.
Palace of Parliament here in Bucharest is such an odd building for many reasons. Firstly, it is the heaviest building in the world, which is just crazy to think about, and it actually sinks by 6 millimeters every single year. It was built by the communist leader Nicolae Ceausescu, and it had like a North Korean influence. He got inspired by North Korean architecture, and you kind of really see it around this area. It's got that kind of vibe to it. It's a very interesting place here in Bucharest.
And I know this is like a really big trend now, and there's almost every city in the world which has one of these now. But it's just really, really lovely, no matter which country or city that you're in, is to go visit them, because it creates a great atmosphere.
Too high?
Too high.
In this one in particular, there's a lovely bar that's there too, so it's definitely a great street if you want to take some Instagram shots as well.
Heading to a shopping centre now.
When we first went there, we were kind of a bit shocked as we entered the doors. We're like, whoa.
I did not expect to see an ice rink in here. That's insane. Look at those waterfalls.
Romanian ball is insane.
But look at this, it's like a cave system in here.
It's pretty cool.
Look at that. Ice rink. Fountains. Not fountains, waterfalls. Caves. Look at this.
Very cool.
Very cool.
There are lots of shops inside, and also one of the things that I found a bit strange and very Romanian is that you can have Coperici as well. I hope we gave you great suggestions to do in Bucharest, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well.
Yes, make sure to check out more videos in our Romania series on our Bucharest playlist, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Yay!
That's so cute.